Okay, so now we're going to finish some tea that I started, some kombucha, 2 weeks ago. And first I checked the label, and 5/12. Today is the 26th, so I see it's exactly 14 days. That's exactly how long I have on this amount. Now, this is an odd amount, so you're going to have to tailor yours proportionately to however much you want to make. A gallon jug, of course, is going to be a lot smaller amounts, and it changes the time that it has to process. It could be anywhere from 10 days to 25 days, depending on how you do it and how much starter you leave in. But anyway, I always use a paper towel with a rubber band around it, completely covered, and that's my best coverage for bugs, especially vinegar gnats, which can go through cheesecloth. Cheesecloth is not small enough of holes in the top. This is smaller and works better, and it's just proven to work, and it's easy to take off and on. I take that off, and first I'm gonna wash my hands. That's what I forgot I was gonna do. Okay. It's really important. I actually have washed them a few times, but it's a nice habit to do when you're handling something like this. It's important to keep everything clean. I like to use paper towels for that because I know they're clean, haven't been used for anything. This is my plastic jug I'm going to pour into. And smells like it's done, looks like it's done. You can see in there. Anyway, that's the culture SCOBY, I guess, floating around. Hey Jill, if you want to get up here, maybe you can just even get up and when I pour, see what that looks like. You see it? It's foaming up in there. We'll go real full so you can really tell. Yeah, there we go. Let's put this back here. And so you can see, I'll pour a little glass. What it should look like. I haven't tried it yet. Nice foam on it. Nice color. I haven't, as you can see, floaties too. I haven't filtered any of it out, and I won't when I put it in the jars. Formidable. So anyway, now I'm going to put it into these quart jars, clean quart jars, and I should have enough for, I'm thinking 9. Sometimes I'll get 10. And it kind of depends too how much I leave in there. The starter might be have a lot more sediment and be, not as clear, a little more cloudy. I can use less of that and maybe get 10 quarts out instead of 9. But it has to all be kept clean and fresh, and I'll show you in just a minute after I get this poured out. I'll get down to actually processing the other SCOBY and cleaning this one, which is super important. If you're going to have clean, fresh tasting kombucha tea, it's important to keep the SCOBY, which is the culture in here, it's important to keep that clean between each batch. And you can just keep reusing it without doing that, but the tea will reflect the taste of that. The benefits may be basically as good with the amino acids and all the things in it that's really good for you, but you want it to taste good too. And these, I'm going to put these lids on, and I'm going to tighten them down finger tight, which is not super tight. They're going to maintain air. And the reason I only make a certain amount, just for however much we use, is because this tea is still just a little bit sweet. But by the time we use it, which will be in the next week or so, because I have 2 of these going, and they're 2-week batches, so theoretically each one should last you about 2 weeks.
You don't need to sterilize your jars, do you?
they've been sterilized. They're pre-done before the video started. This is the 9th one. Okay, that looks like if you look at this, I don't know if I'll be pretty close, but what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to dump this whole thing into here. This. Okay. Now, set this to the side for a minute. Up here. And I'm going to wash that. First I need to set it down on a towel after I get it washed. Put the tea to the side. We still have our other kombucha water, or tea water boiling over here. So this is something to do while you're waiting for that. And I'm just going to get some hot tap water. Squirt a little cleaner in there. I like Dawn better, but this will work. As long as you get it rinsed out real well. So I'm going to want to get this all cleaned up. Get some hot water in there first. With some soap. My rag here. This is pretty nice. I can reach most of it. What I can't reach, I'll use the bottle brush. But this is a nice jar. It works real well for kombucha because of the shape of it. The top makes a nice big SCOBY. You need to wash the inside out. And then real good on the bottoms and everything. Okay, I'm going to dump that out. Do the best you can with what you got. Outside again, especially up around the collar. These tops are real nice for the rubber band hooking around them too. Okay, so now I'm going to set this over here on this towel. Our water is starting to boil. We'll get it down to almost a minute. That was pretty good. So now I'm going to set it up to 5. Oops, 6, 5. That'll give us 5 good minutes before we pull it off and start to let that steep. And in the meantime, I'll also set up my place over here where I'm going to cool, let it steep right there. Okay, now back to what we were doing, processing the tea. Okay, so I can actually add probably another quart, looks like, in here like this. Maybe not. That's good though. Good enough. Okay, now I'm going to take my jug. I'm afraid to use paper towels. Or nice, clean, regular towels, if you prefer. These are handy right now. Okay. So now what I'm going to want to do, I got that ready to put the SCOBY in. And it's in here right now. So, and when your hands are clean and you've been working with kombucha, don't be afraid to pull it out. There's my SCOBY. And there's another part of it. This part to me looks dark like that. This is the newer one and I kind of want to use that. Let's see how clean it. That one looks cleaner, but I think I can maybe clean this one up. You don't need a lot. This would be the new mother, and this is what I'm talking about when I say you need to keep it clean. And I'm using cold water. Don't use hot ever. Warm even. Because even after you make your tea and it's steeps, you need to let it cool all the way down. Super important. And you can see that. That's a nice clear SCOBY. A couple little darker spots, but nothing bad. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's see that. There she is. Beautiful mother SCOBY. Okay, so then I'll add my pot. Put that in there. And then I'm going to filter this. Because with that SCOBY, you don't need a lot of little pieces or anything. You could do this without the SCOBY if you wanted, but this is a nice way to maintain it, keep it cleaned up. And then here comes the old one, right there, which isn't that old. It was it's 2 weeks basically. Put that in there. Discard it. Don't dump it down the drain. It'll grow in there and clog your drain. Okay, now this, besides changing the date on there, which I will do in a while, is basically ready to add the tea. The problem is the tea is not ready to add. Because like I said, it's going to have to steep for about 15 minutes and cool down to room temperature. It may take 4 or 5 hours. It's not something that's going to even take an hour or two in this size of pots. You just don't want to get in a big hurry is all. And then if my towel is clean that I used before and then damaged, and it is, I can reuse that. Or I can use another one, but I'll reuse it. Just gotta make sure there's no holes in it. They can get wet, that doesn't hurt them. Okay, so that's it for now. Thank you. Go ahead and push the red button there.